Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to what will be our final game of the day is Ehome versus Tongfu. Godz. It's going the distance. 1-1. Ehome bounced back in game 2 on the back of a very dominant CTY Ember Spirit game, and just they felt a little more comfortable, kind of a more well-rounded draft, not all in on ganks, but they probably could have been and they still would have won because all of them worked.
Yeah, they didn't bottleneck themselves in having like too many support type heroes that didn't scale into the late game. I think the Tusk, as opposed to the Undying, was a much better fit for 11. So we'll see how they put things together in game 3. We're going to hop right into the draft. He's already gone back for the Tusk. So Tongfu going to have their work cut out for them. They've got another first pick, Queen of Pain. And it's feeling fairly similar overall as far as the Tongfu draft is concerned as with their opener. This time around, they're the ones with the Spirit Breaker. It's not on the Ehome side, but looking to piece things around a Queen of Pain pick once more.
It is interesting to see IO just entirely ignored, and then you go to like the European games, and every game first phase picker ban. But I guess if you're not one of the select few teams that have a really strong IO player right now, which would be what Vici Gaming, Newbie, I guess the two big ones,
and IG as well with Super.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I meant
not
IG,
not
Newbie.
So
I guess really Vici and IG really the only two teams from China that.
And
likely to run the hero.
Even though they play it, it's never a first 2 pick for them. If anything, it would be like a 4th or 5th pick IO, especially with like IG. I haven't seen them prioritize it. VG Gaming maybe do more of the IO tiny type drafts. So it doesn't seem to be like a hero that they feel like can win games with. And IO Tiny has a ridiculously high win rate. You look at the Frankfurt Major qualifiers, Tiny was something like 65 to 70% win rate, which was absurd to me. And it wasn't just like strong teams beating down weak teams. It was being picked in close clutch games, especially in the European scene, and it does seem to be winning a lot more than it's losing. So something I feel like teams haven't quite picked up on just how good it still is, and I think we may see Nanyang. It's going to really come out from some of the Western teams. I guess Liquid are the European representative, and they actually don't play much IO Tiny. If it was like Monkey Business or someone else, then we would be a lot of IO Tiny, but...
Well, I almost died. Almost choked and died live on air.
You were disgusted at the IO Tiny talk. Can't have it.
It won MLG, though. You know, that was the... that was a game-winning combo at that event as well, so... That's all I was trying to say, but apparently that was cause for me to choke and almost kill myself, guys. Rip.
The thought of... Sort of envy breaking a second place curse.
That fills me with joy, not anger.
I love
and certainly not disgust.
People are talking about how he's now won like two titles already with Secret, which is more than he won with Cloud9 over like a 2.5-year span or something.
2?
Or however long he was on C9.
Huh? Yeah, it's only one so far on Secret, right? Just
no, he won. They won the WCA. Well, it was
the qualifier.
It was a qualifier,
but there was prize money.
Like a 70K prize pool. So that to me is still at least a title in some ways. Like, yeah, it was an online-only tournament, but it was still a win in some ways.
And now something we have not seen, guys. Something different. The Dragon Knight, which was in vogue for quite a while in China, is back for Ehome. But Tongfu, the team that's going to get the Templar as well as the Darkseer duo.
Oh, yeah, this is a great Darkseer game, and I think DK, while you don't win the lane against TA, there's not really, like, I don't see, like, oh, they've got a DK against the TA, this is going to be a big problem for them just because DK just needs his levels and is actually got a great setup stun against the TA, has high armor, so you're not an easy target or pick off for the Templar Assassin, and the tempo you play as a DK where you go from tower to tower, take objectives, 5 mana lot, doesn't really, actually causes TA problems. It kind of can offset the power of the TA, so... I think overall it's actually a decent hero to have in your draft against the TA. And
I believe the Corrosive Breath is enough to remove Refraction, right? It's 20 damage per second. Is that enough? I think that is.
It should be enough. So I guess you right-click once and Refraction gets chipped away at. So...
yeah, should be a decent... And also high armor, just a tanky hero in general.
Yeah. That
can help deal with it. Of course, not going to stop TA from farming. Also a hero that can jack the Ancient stacks once he gets level 11. So that can, maybe not the first wave of them, but potentially the second. Something Ehome could go for. But mainly, when you see a DK, that is, hey, we want to push, we want a 5-man.
Yeah. The scary pick to me is just the Darkseer. You've got an Iron Shelled Spirit Breaker charging in, a TA who can have an Iron Shell as well. We may even see like more of a mobility build from TA where you just go for a fast blink. Get some phase boots even, just so you can chase people down, use your movement speed with an Iron Shell on you to do a lot of damage. I don't feel like you have to rush the Deso as much when you've got the Darkseer, but if Tongfu can just get that solid lane support, it won't be a Wyvern to combo with Darkseer. They can cause Ehome problems.
Juggernaut now banned by Tongfu, and into the last round of picks we go. What is that safe lane farmer going to be?
Probably a Gyrocopter, really. You've got good laning against Darkseer. You've got good damage to take out. You've already got the Corrosive you mentioned, but I think having another option that can do it nice and fast. If not that, it's no, it's not really a great anti-mage game. I was about to say anti-mage versus Darkseer always nice. You've got an Int hero and the Queen of Pain, but it's just so it's a kind of it's like a 4 out of 10 anti-mage game. Not great, but
it's
doable.
It's just with the Spirit Breaker TA, if you fall behind, like they can hunt you to the end of the durst. But I guess it's gonna be the core Lina.
Jeez.
So safe lane farming Lina, Dragon Knight mid, Phoenix Tusk off lane.
This seems like a
Is that the laning setup, or is this a core Phoenix?
No, I think you're right.
I mean, it has to be, right?
Yeah, I think Tusk...
Unless they're running like a safe lane Tusk or something wacky.
11 almost always plays the Tusk, so I think Tusk will be the off-lane core and Phoenix will be the support with Rubik.
10 seconds.
Very odd last pick, though. I feel like this really locks Ehome all in on the early game. Lina, you can scale okay towards a late game, but like DK Lina, you're looking at almost pure magic damage burst, and like a TA matches up well against a core Lina because of refraction. You go for the Yules combo, you've got refraction up, you just block a lot of that damage coming out, especially with the initial nukes. So I don't really feel like that was definitely not the last pick I was expecting from Ehome, and I kind of worry as a result.
It does give you more damage over time for refraction, so that is something that Phoenix can bring to the table. Tongfu now, last pick to go. Well, they'll just want that standard laning support. Maybe something that can punish a Phoenix.
Yeah, I feel like Disruptor's great.
Disruptor, Silencer.
Vacuum plus Static Storm. Fantastic AoE combo there. Silencers. I just feel like you're kind of picking the hero exclusively to win the lane against the Phoenix, and it's not even the Phoenix who's a problem. It's going to be an off-lane Tusk, so they get locked down instead from the Lion, and I like this pick better than something like a Silencer. I think Disruptor is the other big option, which would have been nice.
Yeah, definitely a lot of control here. So there'll be the old chicken Dragon Knight, the CTY Lina, and then it will be the 11 Tusk.
Yeah, so safe lane farming Lina. So Rubik Lina lane, you can definitely bully out a Darkseer. We saw a Darkseer earlier today, though, just say, well, if I can't lane, I'll just go to the jungle, which may end up being the option, which isn't too bad of an option. You just send LPC on the Spirit Breaker up there to leech experience while Darkseer gets decent farm in the jungle.
Yeah, I guess maybe you get the point in Fiery Soul and try to push a little bit, but this is... Lina Rubik is not a super hard pushing dual lane, that's for damn sure.
I don't think there's really any other obvious. Ehome, aggro tri-lane, not really looking like the best viable option. C2I is actually on Boots first, which...
He's really favoring his Boots first cores. We saw
that
the
I
Boots
didn't
first,
expect.
what was it last time?
The Ember.
Ember, yeah. That was very unconventional.
Yep.
Worked out okay, though.
So yeah, he's headed straight towards top. It doesn't look like he'll get there in time to scout Spirit Breaker's ward, depending where Spirit Breaker plants it. And meanwhile, Ehome, invading the Radiant jungle, will be scouted out by Xingqiu on the Quap.
Trying to get eyes here on the rotation. Doesn't want to get caught by that 5-hero smoke gank that Ehome used last time. So they lead with the Quap, who has not skilled anything yet.
And CTY and LPC did see each other top. No wards get planted yet, but I think CTY will go for a lane ward.
He's going to sneak through the trees to do it. And he gets a cute one down.
Okay. Decent little spot. It's handy. And the Radiant ward will not even be in the dire side of the map. He puts it just on his side of the river in a safe little spot that gives vision. Does see CTY for now. It looks like Tongfu will secure top. Ehome secure bottom. Very conservative play here to start things up in the Game 3 decider, which is not really a big surprise. You're more likely to go for those risky level 1 moves in like a Game 1 or when you're in Game 2 with a 1-0 lead.
A win here, and you are closing in on a potential land berth. Only need to get past 6 of the teams to qualify from China, so both teams definitely trying to play it safe here, as DK will just immediately ferry out the bottle. Old Chicken only started with 1 branch and a pulled Tango. Meanwhile, U9 with the full Wraith Band going far more into the early last hitting and harass.
Yeah, not even the double branch build. I guess it does allow you to get a bottle without even having to get a single last hit, which is pretty nice against TA.
You can just send it like as the wave arrives instead of having to wait for the CS.
A lot of you, like 80% or 78% of your CS will come from Breathe Fire. You're just going to be spamming it out anytime to get a single last hit. So, yeah, he'll keep the Courier mid, will instantly Bottle Crow. And that's the nice thing about this. You can Bottle Crow right away, and then the Courier will come back as the 2-minute mark hits, so you'll have your bottle back for a 2-minute rune.
And boy, does it take a while. That thing is slow as molasses.
Yeah. And if Tongfu had scouted that out, they could have tried to make a play to snipe it as, oh, first blood happens bottom lane. Phoenix goes down. Oh boy.
Huh.
That's not really a hero you'd expect to see go down early on. Phoenix did have Fire Spirits and got punished, it looks like, for not going dive.
I saw him with the Fire Spirits, but it's a level 1 Quap and Lion. With the Tusk back, yo, I had no idea what happened there. That was a...
I think Faith just right-clicked him down. He went stick, so he's got 0 armor against a right-click Lion.
There's the Snowball dodging the Shadow Strike, but 11 is going in on 2 heroes.
He may... Okay, they're not going to chase him down. I feel like they almost could have with a Boots Lion.
You know, this is something Winter talked about, that he actually thinks Tusk can beat Quap 1v1 if you're able to Snowball dodge the Shadow Strike, but doesn't work when it's not 1v1.
Yeah.
You go in, you dodge the Shadow Strike, then suddenly you're in a compromised position under their tower with a Lion stunning you. And
Kaka's in so much trouble here. This Lion doesn't go for it. He's scared of the Tusk. Okay, maybe not. DD rune there, and it was a dire ward spotting his rotation. But a level 1 Phoenix with Magic Stick, so 0 armor against this Lion Quap lane is going to struggle.
Does get back to the safety of his Tusk, the fire and ice combo. And now that he's got the DD rune, it's Tongfu who... need to be a bit more cautious. Definitely wants to try and pump out the harassment if possible. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, U9 off to a pretty good start here against Old Chicken. He's 11-5 now. His own bottle coming out. 2-minute rune. Was already grabbed the bounty rune for the Spirit Breaker top. And, of course, the DD rune we already saw bottom.
Yeah, DK didn't get a rune, but he's just going to go right back to Bottle Crowing. This is the kind of CS disparity you'd expect in the mid lane. Actually, maybe slightly better for the DK than you sometimes see, but... TA, after the creep wave, that evens things out. Well, the even creep waves will have the edge.
Oh, the charge. Lanham was not facing the right way. The double bash comes through from LPC. Almost enough for a kill on Lanham. Just the time it takes him to turn around. Very well executed by LPC, waiting until the Rubik's back was facing him, and well, couldn't even get that quote-unquote instant liftoff. So now that I say that, bingo, pulled back in. There is a stun available. Swing and a miss.
I guess he didn't have mana. He was still clarity.
I don't know. By the time I looked, he did, but maybe he didn't have it the second the lift happened.
I'm not entirely sure.
There's another snowball dodge on the Shadow Strike. Well played.
And it's a level 2 Shadow Strike. Zinkyu's actually gone very heavy on the Shadow Strike points, but the cooldown on that does beat the snowball cooldown. So if he goes for another one soon, he will be able to land, but I almost feel like the better harass target may end up being the Phoenix if you can get in close.
No, you're talking about harassment. Tongfu are thinking kills here as the freight train starts moving down bottom. Spirit Breaker on the hunt. It seems K-pop has arisen and begun cooking bacon.
This is the torture. We've got...
which has attracted the attention of Roland.
Oh my gosh. We've got the two of us casting, Roland at the producer's desk who loves bacon, and we've got to smell bacon for the next 30-40 minutes. Oh, yeah. You're cruel, Brian. You're cruel.
Yeah, K-pop Toastus is an asshole. Be sure to tweet at KPT Dota that he's a jerk.
Yeah, what is Hip TV?
At what is Hip TV is an acceptable alternative.
Yeah.
Do want to point out they narrowly missed here on the D ward of their own pole camp, though. I guess it's getting a bit late to note that, but just for the record, as Old Chicken gets charged mid, forces out a TP, a bit unnecessary, but maybe a kill TP snowball. Bringing in the TA, almost enough for LPC. It is, in fact, and now U9 forced to walk away. And while that is happening at the exact same moment, they again punish the Phoenix as soon as they see the Tusk leave the lane. Down he goes.
Phoenix only now buys a ring of protection. Getting a stick over a ring is just bad news on a 0 armor hero, and now his boots are going to come so late. He's got a support by wards, upgrade courier, and he's now got a ring and a stick, 200 gold items that delay his boots dramatically. This has just been a disaster of a lane for Phoenix.
I think it's okay if you're like a Skywrath and you're just so fast and you have a really long-range, reliable harass nuke, but
yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Phoenix, not so much.
No, and it's the Lion who's just been poking at him. It's just been constant poke coming out from Lion onto the Phoenix. Very much the stick has not helped out Kaka at all. So, we'll see Tongfu's next move. I feel like they can continue to be aggressive, especially with the weak lane of the Phoenix, who seems to be deciding to not go back to the off lane. It wasn't just a constant death trap for him, and Faith, similarly, on the move, is headed towards the top lane, in fact. Maybe knowing that this level 1 ward that was planted from the Lina will be expiring soon, so he's going to try and bypass it and also secure this 6-minute rune for the Tongfu mid.
That's the beauty of the haste grab. Sometimes it's a double rune just by virtue of the speed, though. Supports often have something else to say about that. Bounty rune will be bottled up here.
This is a problematic spot for Lion M, although the Lion will take some time to provide follow-up.
Well, just the Ion Shell going to work for now. Zex Bingo charging in, and potentially more to come. They forced out 2 more TPs. Suddenly 7 heroes top. Surge away. Oh, yeah, I'll see you later, buddy. Good luck with that LPC. And he's going to gallop out, gets the charge up, has the salve, goes right through the neutrals. Can Mango salve?
Oh, TP out. Okay, that's fine.
I guess did he need the Mango for the mana? I guess he must have.
He Mango TP'd. He could have Suicide. I think Suicide there is fine. You're level 2 if you spend your money, but...
Don't waste your precious Mangoes, man.
Yeah, either options. Yeah, you waste a Mango, but
no,
mid lane.
Better than feeding, that's for sure. 09 in a lot of trouble here. The Refraction was instantly burnt, and the Dragon Breath will be enough to finish him off there. Rather, the Corrosive Breath.
Dude, I love watching DK games. A lot of people find the hero boring, like to play or watch, but...
What do you love so much about it?
It's the strategy aspect. It's why I love anti-mage games. It turns it so much more into like a game of chess where it's so much about the decision making and it's a hero that you pick not to win the lane. It's less about the mechanics when you play the Dragon Knight and much more about the overall game plan and how the draft comes into play as opposed to like your mid player's individual mechanical skill.
Okay, I can accept that. That's a good response. I give that a 8 out of 10. And I will maybe pick more DK in your honor. Yeah, I like DK. Okay. He's not like my go-to hero, but I'll play DK if the mood strikes me. If you get through the lane, that hero's actually ridiculous, to be honest.
And you could transition to carry, like especially playing pubs. It's like great to like go carry DK and stuff when you get like a more greedy farming build.
Shadowblade, Midas.
Yeah, Shadowblade DK is just a great fun way to play.
Although I love sneaking Midas in on him just because of how quickly you get level 16, but it's pretty hard to justify how weak your mid game is doing that.
Just got to go the old safe lane Illidan DK with no breathe fire. Possibly the worst way I've ever seen to play DK.
Oh, he maxed the passive. That's right.
He went passive stats with like 1 point in stun. Oh god, that was disgusting to watch.
International 5 level player.
He has turned a new corner and no longer does that on DK.
I'm
sure if he
Are you sure that's not just that he no longer plays DK?
Yeah. I'm sure if he was asked about his thoughts on his earlier DK build, he'd be like, "Yeah, I was a freaking idiot. That was." I don't know.
I think he got interviewed about it like quite a while after it. And
after it, oh god.
And he thought it was good at the time.
If they make it to the summit, I'm going to give him shit for his DK build.
All right,
I will.
I look forward to that. You know, we haven't actually had a CIS team casting at the event.
No, we haven't.
I guess Navi did. Dendy did 1 game at the Summit one, I think.
On the
English stream.
Okay.
But he wasn't super comfortable.
Yeah. It's not a native language for him,
and Denny's a little shy about his English. It's actually not bad, but he's shy about it.
When he's off camera, he's just like he'll joke around because it's like he hasn't got the audience. But here we go. Invis rune top, Spirit Breaker. Stunned up, follow up from CTY.
No mana. Oh, just got it now. Not going to get a chance to use it. They will destroy.
They've made great use of the DK ultis. First the tier 1 mid tower with the kill on the TA. Now they're going to, even if they don't get this tier 1 top tower, it's a lot of damage put onto it, and there's no one defending. This is a guaranteed tier 1 for DK Lina.
You can see the Templar Assassin punily try to split push, but with no Deso, she doesn't even come close.
Okay, I saw CTY with a double Sage Mask. I was like, is this some freaking Orchid Lina, some next level shit? But it's going to be a Soul Ring Yule Scepter, I guess. Bloodstone into Yules, or Yules into Bloodstone. I don't know which order.
Oh, come on. It's definitely an Orchid Lina, Godz. New meta.
It's not the worst build on a Lina, I would say, depending on what heroes you're against.
She's just so squishy if you go that build. Oh, Faith gonna get caught out. Will be finished off, and now on the retreat, 9.
I think if you have a Blink Dagger, you can justify, like, go Blink Orchid. would maybe work.
Here's that.
Oh, no vision for U9. He actually cancelled his TP there. And won't be caught out, though. They didn't quite realize he'd been trapped there. And
no way to pull him out of the meld.
so Tongfu very much still waiting to hit their big timing where they've got the Darkseer mech and they can fight with the Iron Shell on Spirit Breaker at TA. TA for now, we'll have to see if it's going to be a Deso Rush still or if you go for something like a Blink first because you have the Darkseer on your side. See how the build working out. And I think Queen of Pain wants to go tanky here. I don't think Xingqiu wants to go for like an Orchid Rush. And yeah, he's picked up a point booster. So that's going to come out to him now. This is, to me, a game where you're going to be having to be put in a position where you have to constantly defend towers against 5-man push. And the short cooldown helps you find pickoffs to delay the push. And more importantly, helps you defend against the push directly by throwing out your Sonic Wave. And Tongfu just taking trades. When you're not hitting your timings just yet, whenever you see your opponents go for these pushes, this is like the right little move to make. You get a tier 1 for a tier 1, and you buy time to hit your item timings.
All right, meanwhile, off in the dire jungle, a fight's erupting as they lose Faith the Lion off the bat. Xingqiu also going to fall. Lanham could even be denied by 11 when he was mid-attack animation to deny him, but unable to do so there.
Yeah, so they get the tier 1 bottom tower and also get their kills in the mid lane. Just a Rubik in exchange for a Queen of Pain plus Lion. Also the tier 1 mid tower defended, so really good play coming out from Ehome here in the early game. And this is what you need when you've got the DK. You can't be... Once you hit level 6, you have to be going from objective to objective. You can't be slowing down. You can't be making slip-ups because your late game is going to generally be a little bit weaker because of the hero. Early drums now picked up for Old Chicken, so we're not going to see the Blink Rush, which for the most part has been the popular DK build.
They're charging. They found CTY. Yule Scepter was just purchased. Boy, he would have loved to have that for this situation. He might even get out with the stun. Only hits the Spirit Breaker, but that's enough. CTY holding the stick, playing it close, and does skate away.
Wow.
Big save there.
Even Soul Rings to get himself some Fiery Souls to get back to base faster.
That efficiency.
Yeah. Well, Ehome now on the move again. Another Invis rune for Old Chicken. Second of the game, and this is a great rune for finding a pickoff on heroes like Queen of Pain, Spirit Breaker, or whoever it may be, but they need the deep wards. They've got both Quap and Lion really nearby. Instead, they find the TA.
Now the Courier's going to fly in. No Radiant Vision of it. It was very close to getting scouted. But this is a bit too far to go in. Tongfu.
A bit unlucky not to find a pickoff there with the Invis DK. I just like narrowly avoided a couple different heroes.
At the same time now, Lina could be ready to get involved in some fights. The Yule's complete. Arcane's up. Alright, that Ag's likely to come next. She's off in the bottom side of the map, but it has been a very back and forth game so far, God. It's quite even as far as net worth goes, with the farm advantage going the way of Tongfu and the tower advantage thus far going the way of Ehome.
Yep.
But outside of that, 5-6 the kill score. No Roshan grabbed just yet, and probably not grabbed anytime too soon, unless there's a medallion afoot.
Yeah, Tongfu really want to hit the level 6 Lion and probably go for a smoke with that. Get a quick kill, get a quick pick off with a Finger of Death, then back off and farm a bit more. Especially if TA wants to go for a Deso, you need to play a much slower pace for now. They'll have a mech and a Finger soon though, so that's a good kind of 1-2 punch as far as having some firepower and defensive capabilities if you want to make a smoke play. It's just getting that Lion level 6, which is proving problematic, and they're going to smoke pre-level 6 here. Slightly risky play to make, but CTY may be exposed here.
He is waiting. They get the charge out on 11, and Faith punished as he tries to run around the corner. Oh, hey, I think I'll help this gank. No, you won't. Queen of Pain all comes through with the snowball, dodging it and turning the fight. CTY might be able to get off another combo. The stun was used. Slave as well still goes down, but now Lanham arrives, tries to turn the fight. He has managed to steal the vacuum. Only level 1, unfortunately, and the Dragon Knight caught out on the backside of the fight. He needs the help of the Phoenix here. They're going to need an egg to turn this. Iron Shell starting to do work, and at long last, Kaka limps his way forward. Old Chicken trying to get in range as his Lanham ends up being, in the end, a Lion for Alina.
For one, wow. And that was with Ehome having a big positional and vision advantage. They had the ward poking out. They saw what was coming their way. Lina gets the insta-pick. So it was a 5v4. You can argue Laguna's on cooldown, but they still see Tongfu coming their way. But doesn't matter. That was the power of the Dark Seer. He's got the mech. He's throwing the Iron Shells out, and this is just where an Iron Shell Spirit Breaker, an Iron Shell TA can just do so much damage.
Of course, Dragon Knight doesn't really care. He's happy to trade 1-for-1 because that means he takes your tower. The shard's coming through on his X-Bingo. He's thoroughly trapped in. Gets the backup, but doesn't have the wall follow-up. And now with the Dragon Tail Mand-up going down here, Breathe Fire was already expanded, but they get the kill anyway. Sweeping forward is Kaka on the Phoenix. And the Ehome continue to pressure. This is just very reminiscent of like the ROTK Vici gaming at TI almost, where they just keep on running at you, constantly going for objectives. Minimal farm time for basically any hero. In fact, Lita's already back. Yeah, farming the enemy jungle, but only en route to a full 5-man group up bottom lane. And now that the tower's down, Ehome will smoke. And they draw the line all the way top.
What's the play here?
This is super 5-man Dota.
This seems like an odd little smoke here. I guess they know they can look for a pick-off somewhere. They see the Lion alone top, so that's a free kill. The question is, have they spotted U9? A Dire Ward in there in jungle. Oh, that's a value pickup. The TA has a blink, though, so not a guaranteed kill by any means if you can get a fast blink out with the refraction.
And they've got no detection either.
Still got 5 defensive refraction charges.
No, U9 blinks away. They are still hunting. They really want this guy. TP's out around the trees. The lift is there. Now U9's in a lot of trouble. Meld already cast, and they'll just start throwing out the fire spirits. Breathe fire, shards, a little bit of everything. Every element used.
Tough spot to be in. He had to hit like a great blink into the trees maybe to get out of there, so...
And that was a pure reaction play.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, Darkseer down.
CQY out. So.
I think he was winding up the ult, but that probably would not have been enough for a kill.
Playing very much that carry-oriented Lina with the Bloodstone build-up after the Yule Scepter now. And for Ehome, they don't want to dilly-dally too much this game. They've not got the best late game when they're running a Lina Dragon Knight as their 2 cores. I like the adjustment, though. We saw game 1. They didn't buy Midas's. This time around, Kaka, Midas, Phoenix, he's got 1. I don't think we'll see Midas's anywhere else unless Dragon Knight really feels like he wants to play that late-game greed. But something they were severely lacking back in game 1 was that little bit of late-game insurance.
Yeah, even just getting the levels is so important, aside from the potential item pickups. And Kaka is level 10 at 18 minutes, so he's actually done quite well for himself. Yeah, it's just more aggression. Old Chicken with the Blink Dagger now. Obviously great with the Dragon Knight's fairly limited mana pool to ensure he, compared to, say, a Shadow Blade, where you may occasionally run out. And maybe Roshan in the cards here, Godz. They've got the aggressive wards. They are lacking a medallion, so it would be a very slow Rosh.
They've got the DD rune. They've just got to see that it's there. If they find the DD, I would definitely see them going towards it. They've got great vision in the Radiant jungle, so it is kind of the right time to go for that play. But Tongfu themselves smoked up. They see Ehome just farming away at the mid lane, but they don't really want to just engage into that in broad daylight because that smoke will pop and Ehome will be able to react.
Ehome getting back now. Oh, if they continue to occupy this high ground, they'd be in the perfect situation to... Well, actually not, because Tongfu's got a ward.
Yeah.
Now the charge will come. LPC, he stops, and he stops in the middle of the trees.
They don't scouted. Yeah. Oh,
they don't have vision.
Interesting.
He could get another strike here. He's prepped.
Iron Shell damage? Oh, they're out of range.
Oh, he's burning down the creep.
What the hell?
No.
That hit the Phoenix. That did like 2... It did about 5 damage to the Phoenix there. And yeah, okay, he'll charge out. If you get damage there, you probably just think it's like an invis hero. So I doubt they find him even if they realize.
Or maybe you think the neutral hit you as you're running by and you're like, oh, whatever.
So it's unlikely they would have found him even if they realized that damage was being dealt. Maybe they pop a sentry or a dust and then they get confused. Weird little spot there for him to end up at.
The spear cosmetic on DK is really weird because he swings it like it's a sword. He doesn't like stab with it. He just hacks away like from top to bottom. It's very strange. Just the little things here in Dota 2.
Immersion.
But Tongfu, I mean, you look at the CS chart and they are definitely winning the pure far more.
Yeah.
Godz, I feel like there is some pressure here on Ehome to continue to gank and find objectives.
Keeping things very close here, and you're going to see likely BKB pickups to help deal with the very magic damage focus Ehome draft, and just they're heavy on disables. You want BKBs to help be able to bring down a Phoenix Supernova so you can get out of the Fire Spirits. But
Keep
now
pushing in
Ehome,
the top lane. Bloodstone online for
Yeah.
CTY, so he's the one hero that's going for, I mean, let's be honest, lead a pretty damn hard carry if she has enough farm. Although, let's see, does she get the first Laguna Blade here? On to Zex Bingo, yes sirree! CTY off to a great start, and now rolling forward and popping the egg. Supernova committed in the middle of the fight as LPC tries to back off. U9 also trapped a bit. The Walrus Punch comes through, and they start to burn her down with the Sun Ray, trapped by the shards. Truly a Song of Ice and Fire here.
Well, they almost got another follow-up kill with another one more blink stun from Old Chicken. But
With that, 2 big cores and potentially, well, definitely a tier 2.
just really hard for TA to play into this. I actually feel like DK is a TA counter pick in some ways, just because of what we're seeing here. How little a TA can do against... It's a playstyle thing. There's like the DK playstyle where you're just 5-manning pushing towers, and TA is so bad against that, which is where the lane advantage TA has does not make up for the mid-game disadvantage, that where the DK just steamrolls through TA drafts.
Well, they are hunting some retreating heroes. CTY able to TP away. So too is Kaka. Tongfu, good effort to catch the stragglers, but unable to connect. Yeah, and beyond that, it's even just a very decent hero counter with the damage over time from Corrosive, as well as the reliable stun to lock her down.
So we'll see
It
how...
has been tough for the TA, and now sitting 0-3-1. I wouldn't even say that she's played that poorly by any means, but
It's just been a game where there's no openings for TA to have much of an impact. Even went for the blink first to try and synergize with the Darkseer. The only other way you could have played this is rush the Deso and tried to go for the smoke Roche sneak, which it's easy to look at this game now and say, okay, that would have been a better way to play this. Go greedier, try and just farm for the late game, sneak a Roche using a smoke. But at the same time, the Blink Dagger could have worked, could have found them kills, so I don't think it's like an obvious... At the time, it was very much like a 50-50 decision.
Another long charge from LPC, but he backs off from the brink, and 4 heroes followed him in. They ran past the Observer Ward, though. 2 of them now rotating back on mid. They were scouted. I mean, although Tongfu are grouping, it's clear they want to find the hero pickoffs, not the full 5v5 fight.
Yeah, they want to quick pick with the Lion Finger and try and get out before any kind of big 5-on-5 is unleashed. Charge towards bottom. They've got the ability to catch any kind of split push, which is where Ehome are more focused towards the 5-man play.
Charging 11 now. They're going to drop a TA trap.
They need the Rubik lift to cancel this.
Dun, da, da, da. Nope!
Oh,
Interrupted and then turned on. Now the vacuum comes out, but Old Chicken fights his way through this bingo trap by the shards and dropping fairly quickly. The snowballs there to help keep them alive. And the egg again, just going off in the middle of the fight, zoning back the rest of the teams. They lose the 2 frontliners. The others have to retreat. Shards and almost connecting there on U9. And they hunt further. Faith with the stun as he flees for the base. But Dragonites, well, actually Blink already used another shards. Again, slightly off the mark. Still Ehome showing that their deathfall is just a little bit too strong right now.
Oh yeah, when they group up, you've got to get that 1 kill fast and get out, and they just had to chase too far with the charge before they could even engage. And DK, I think already recognizing that the fight was going to break up bottom, because Tongfu found nothing top, then they swung bottom, they caught caught vision of them teeping out, so they just immediately rotate and react to what Tongfu are doing.
And I just have to reiterate that CTY is unbelievably farmed. 185 CF, 7-2-1. Bloodstone up to 12 charges. It's going to be either a Hex or an Octarine just right away for him.
Yeah, I could see.
He is just gigantic at this point.
Man. Even Shivers against it. I guess TA is never right-clicking. I don't think Shivers makes a lot of sense, but...
You could, I suppose. It's good with the Supernova.
Yeah, the aura is actually... It's not even just about the TA. Like, all the right-click from a... Spirit Breaker already attacks slow enough, and you throw a Shivers aura on top of that, the Quap won't be getting right-clicks off.
It could be anything, honestly. It's just he's so farmed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And TA will go for... I was going to say, I was wondering if TA will go for the BKB or Deso. She farmed up, like, a lot of money on top. Like, she farmed up 1400, so it kind of looked like a Deso, but now decides BKB's just essential, and... I definitely agree with this. It just has been TA having no ability to fight. And you can still do damage with a max meld and Iron Shell on yourself, so the BKB is still something which you can use to try and go on someone like Alina, who's still only got 5 base armor.
The siege commences mid.
Oh dear.
Lina pummeling the tower, and of course Lina Dragon Knight. That is some long-range artillery to bring structures down.
Yep. And 12 Bloodstone charges, CTY just spamming out nukes on the ground just to keep up that max fiery souls. DK ultimate online, so if they want to start chipping at the tier 3, they definitely can do so.
I think you at least try to force everyone back. They currently see the TA top lane.
Force Tongfu to engage on you. Make them take an unfavorable fight. Even if your push gets ended, most likely it should be Ehome who have the item advantage, the level advantage, who will win any fight, even around the Tongfu high ground. So I think you just force Tongfu to go on you. If you don't get a tier 3, even if you use the Aegis just to have like a 3-for-1, 4-for-1 trade, that's kind of what Ehome want right now. They just want to have constant fights, which they're going to win, unless they really misplay and have poor execution.
They jump in with Lanham, hunting, searching for a kill.
Yeah, Quap no BKB just yet. Does have buyback, and that's the other thing. You win you take a fight by their base, you're likely to force up buyback, start crippling the Tongfu economy. They've already got the gem up. We've seen this 2 games in a row, and now, well, for a 3rd game, we'll see the early gem when Ehome get that early to mid-game edge, and they'll use that to get map control and starve out Tongfu in their own base.
Shiva's online now. Looks like they want to smoke. They may have been scouted a little bit by this observer.
Yeah, this ward didn't actually get seen by the gem, so that's handy. And now the trap's coming out. That's the other reason I want the gem, is the traps give a lot of vision as well.
And that is definitely what Tongfu want. Bit reminiscent of game 1, except they're not farming as quickly.
Oh, they know where TA is. Can they get a blink stun and bring her down? They're doing this without smoke, but it may not matter.
They get the lift. The punch is there, waiting. The Lina stun quite off the mark. A little miscommunication there. But
That was a BKB anti-dive.
Oh, God. That's a minute on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And Xingqiu, he knows it's getting desperate. Ults immediately and just TPs away right after.
Yeah. It doesn't look like Ehome are going to rush to go high ground. They actually sent the DK top to push the lane out a bit. Actually, he's got a kill. He's got a TP coming in from Tusk. The LPC.
Snowball says, where are you going?
Yeah.
Stay here. Enjoy a little time with your friends. 1 second on the stun. Oh, just late.
Level 3 stun. Feels level 4. We've seen DKs, actually. Some of the DKs we saw during Nanyang from some of the teams were actually just getting 2 or 3 points in Dragon Blood and maxing stun earlier. Because when you play this super aggressive, constant fighting DK style, having a 9-second cooldown on stun is ridiculous. Very much though, I think because you're against TA, he wanted more armor though. If it not for the TA on the other side, I think we would have seen more points in stun.
They keep on hunting for these kills off in the jungle. Now regrouping mid lane, but Aegis going down in about a minute and a half. So if they want to take a lane of Rax, or at least threaten, the time is now for Ehome. The Dragon Knight BKB active.
Yeah, possibly the item, most likely the item they were waiting for before going for this. The Creep Wave is in position for the mid lane high ground attempt, but Ehome not rushing things, and I don't feel like they need to as much as their late game damage is somewhat lacking. They're out farming Tongfu so dramatically that Lina is actually going to be a scary late gamer. The Shivers is just going to destroy the TA Quap, who aren't even going for any kind of attack speed or damage items. With the BKB rush, this Shivers gets even stronger.
And they see U9 again, blinking in with the stun initiation. Lanham going to work. It looks like he stole a meld there, which helps to secure the kill. And that might be the cue to go down mid. A minute before this TA is up, though they don't know it. She has no buyback.
TA got caught there once, and it's a second time the same ward getting 2 kills in the same location. A bit inexcusable, but you're also at a point where you're so far behind, you're forced to play greedier to get any kind of farm on the map.
The siege begins. Old Chicken will even pop his ultimate for this, and in they go. Off the bat, Zex Bingo on the sidelines of the fight, but he gets stunned. He's going to be focused. Doesn't get off the combo. They'll lose the Darkseer. No buyback for 45. This might be the end of a lane of Rax for Tongfu as Ehome barrel in. They didn't even have to come into Laguna for that. CTY holding it in reserve now as the Quad Bolt comes through. Just bashing away at this tower. Man, the damage output.
They lose the Aegis, but I don't think it matters here. CTY has a very fast respawn, and he's not even going to die once here. With Sonic Wave down,
he can buy BOTs, and he will respawn basically instantly.
Sonic Wave's down, so the ability to kill Lina is just not there.
There's the Laguna, and that's the end of Xingqiu. Darkseer still out of the picture. LPC trying to hold on his own. He'll fall as well. The Quap buys back, looks to re-engage, but U9 left to his own devices. BKBs tries to bring down at least 11, but can't even do that. And now the Dragon Knight pursues him out, hounds him to the ends of the earth. gets the melt strike off, and with the BKB ending down, he goes, and they look for even more. CTY continually to slaughter Bingo where he stands. He'll fall as well as InQ next. And last, as Tongfu are fully wiped, and in the end, Ehome show they are the more stable team here. They'll take it 2-1.
Yeah. The expected outcome as far as winning goes, but Ehome did show some shakiness, especially game 1 when they had the lead they had. I don't feel like they should have slipped up as badly as they did. In game 2 and 3, Tongfu put up a pretty good showing, so I think partially Ehome not being as strong as people expected, and Tongfu maybe also just performing a lot better than what we saw from them during the Majors qualifiers. So
I imagine, especially like you said, 71 and even Lanham are going to be very disappointed in the showing today, but at the same time, the result, it's good enough for today, and they'll just look to improve for tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, falling back a lot on the 11 Tusk, which I feel like is going to be a hero that Ehome realizes their best strategy, their bread and butter, and teams will also start banning out, because that was something they ignored in game 1. The Undying just seems a lot weaker now in 6.85. The hero just falls off a lot faster. The changes have definitely nerfed him. So
there's some teams you just don't give Tusk to in general. Yes. Or if you do, you really try to find a way to punish it. But it's such a versatile pick, and you never really know how it's going to get used. So, Godz, with that, Tongfu drop down to the lower bracket, but Ehome move on, and they will be facing Newbie in the round of 4 in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, that's a... based on how they played today, I would favor Newbie, but to me, Ehome's a team who will study their opponents, work out a strategy, and you talked about 7-1 and Lanham going over there, how they played today and what they need to improve upon. They'll also go over the Newbie games and formulate like a game plan and draft strategies for dealing with them. So,
well, if anyone can figure them out, it's probably those two wily veterans. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a rather long day here for 2 best of 3s in China. Hope you enjoyed it. Of course, he's Godz. You can follow him at BTS Godz. Myself at LD Dota if you'd like as well. And with that, guys, we're going to call it a day. I think we'll have a rebroadcast for a little bit, and then we'll have America kicking off. And also, I think we might still have some SEA Dota ongoing. Is that correct?
Yes, Fnatic and Team 123 are going to a Game 3 decider over on
Okay, so twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit2 for that. I believe Cyclops is bringing all the action. So if you want some entertaining commentary, then go check it out. Thank you for watching, guys. The Summit 4 continues in just a bit, but for now, it's LD and God signing off.